Friday, March 31st. Introducing to you this morning the first of our Friday First Look video series, a series we intend to shoot every other week, providing business and agronomic tips for your operation, hopefully things you can consider through the weekend and even into your next week as you're planning ahead and getting things going. As we're looking at our interactions with your business over the next couple of weeks, getting seed delivery to your farm is very key. We're hoping for some better weather to get things out the door to your farm, get your binders to you, help you with some last second placement on corn and soybeans and those types of things. We're also very diligently working on getting our Plots Plus platform. We got about 30-35 plot sets between corn and beans. We're looking to get those placed and get guys committed to putting those in the ground as well. So if those are things, take and deliver your seed, putting a plot in with us is something you're interested in or you're ready to do, please give me a call. My number is 402-672-6951. We'll certainly be in touch with you guys on both of those platforms. As we get closer to planting, because one day the sun is going to come out and we are going to go back to the field and the planters will start to roll. Understand that our hours in Underwood will be what they've always been. My wife Carrie will be here to run this warehouse, and 7:30 in the morning to 6 at night, she's guaranteed to be here. We'll have make sure somebody, if not two people's here to take care of your needs, get you loaded, pick up some in-season business, get some seed treated, kind of whatever you need. Our goal up at Minden's, have that building open, the same hours. With as aggressive as we are putting plots in the ground, there may occasionally be the chance that myself and our intern Clayton Davis are both out putting plots in at the same time. So I would encourage you from Minden, give me a call at my number again, 402-672-6951, and we'll make sure somebody's there to take care of your seed needs in Minden as well. Very popular with landlords, wives, and many of our customers is a little sweet corn seed sitting around. This year, to help you guys out in that, we've got some, again, Roundup Ready corn, the 74-day bicolor Anthem 2 from Seminus. Got 3 boxes that's sitting around, a couple here at Underwood and one up at Minden. Feel free to stop in and grab a packet or 2 or 3, whatever you need to kind of get your needs taken care of, and we'll really hope that makes it to your plate. Hope we're not feeding the raccoons in the area, but either way, we've got you covered there like we always have. Agronomically, first thing we'll touch base on is soil temp. We're currently sitting at 45-degree soil temps here this morning. We were up in the high 40s a week ago. It doesn't, with the way the weather has gone this week, obviously 45 even seems a little generous in my opinion, but we're a ways away from safe planting dates, but give it a couple weeks, a little sunlight, things will change awfully fast. As we talk about placement of corn, what's maybe the very first thing corn-wise you want to put in the ground? From us, different hybrids I want to give you is just kind of some heads up on, very, very first plant. If you're an early guy, 5438, 5440, that would almost be what leads placement-wise with that hybrid. 6154, 6155 would be more traditional 111-day corn. Always highly recommend those things being the very first thing you put in the planter. They're going to battle those cool soil temperatures as things are beginning to heat up, but you've got an ideal condition soil-wise to go out and plant into. Complementary hybrids that I think you can still feel very good from a first plant standpoint would be your 5806, 5808, 5356, 5358, as well as 6087, 6088, brand new 6220, Smart Stack 6360, and then a couple 114 days with brand new 6434, 6435, and even 6487 and 6489. That should give you guys some really good tips as far as what maybe first corn hybrids as you're looking down your order that you're going to want to place, put in the ground, and feel very confident with how they're going to handle soil temperatures and conditions maybe being slightly less than ideal, but still getting your planter going and getting things in the ground. On the soybean side of things, obviously we're a little ways away from that, but you're always going to have a first bean you're going to plant as well. We certainly recommend our brand new 24X6, 2733s or 2836 Asgrow soybeans as maybe your very first top notch out the gate kind of deal. Seed treatment we think is always a must in that very first planted scenario, but 2433s, 2933s, 32X6 and 3231 would also be varieties you can plant with confidence right out the block. So, probably the most important thing I want to talk to you about this morning is just corn seedling depth. And it's something that we spend all this time. We do all our financing. We get everything organized and put together. And it's amazing how just one critical decision or one maybe overlooking the planting depth that we go to the field with can have such a dramatic impact on our yield and profitability for the year. The old rule of thumb, we want to be 2 to 2.5 inches deep. And I think there's some things that you want to understand why you want it that deep. I think you also want to consider just the impact of having that thing too shallow. Maybe some food for thought. I think it's very important. A tool like you see here, I carry it in my planter tractor, and again we're looking at that 2 to 2.5 ballpark. I think it's very important to have something like this in your tractor cab. I would very much encourage you as field conditions are changing, as you're going from corn on corn to till to no till, whatever it is. Make that first little bit of a pass in the field and then get out and dig around behind the planter and take the time to do it. I know we're all in a hurry and I know we want to get the thing on the ground as fast as possible, but I think we've all been there where it gets to be middle of July and a big windstorm's coming through overnight and you start driving around to assess if you had some hybrids or farms that had more wind damage history or not, and then you begin to notice the one particular neighbor that had almost each one of his farms got blew over, kind of fell in a pile. And we don't want to be that guy. That there's nothing that feels worse to yourself as a grower when you begin to realize that you planted things too shallow. It's just important that nodal root system. When we talk about seed depth at 2 to 2.5 inches, we want that nodal root system about 3/4 an inch under the surface. And I think that's the part that, from an embrace root standpoint, from a standability standpoint throughout the growing season, that's going to be the most important thing you're going to want to consider. I think it's always important that, if you're uncertain in the field exactly where you're at, err on the side of being too deep as opposed to too shallow. The corn can grow through that. Once it's too shallow, it's always too shallow. There's not much we can do about that. Rootless corn syndrome, it's going to have impacts on your post-herbicide. It's going to have impact on standability. The ultimate goal is to drop that seed 2 to 2.5 inches into the bottom of that trench and to have every plant emerge exactly the same as the other. We don't want seed emerging a day late, 2 days late. We'll actually have some trials in our plot, our corn on corn location south of Bentley this year, where we flag that and take that to harvest and take that to yield to demonstrate the importance of that to you guys this year. Just some other considerations. The uniform emergence like we talked about, the need to be at the bottom of the trench, things that will really impact getting that seed to the bottom of your trench. Probably the two most primary things would be your seed size, and then speed with what you're planting. I know we've got these high-powered planters that are designed to cover acres, eat acres faster, and to be able to plant faster. My recommendation is always gear down a little bit, take your time with that. Maybe buy a bigger planter if you really want to cover acres, but don't let the speed with which those units operate be your deciding factor in how many acres you cover in a day. You only get one chance to do that thing right, and that date you go through is generally the best date over a 10-year average to put that thing in the ground. So those are things, I always think back to kind of old UCLA basketball coach John Wooden, his saying, be quick but don't be in a hurry. I think that really applies to planting. So hopefully those there are a couple of tips as you're considering why you want that corn at 2 to 2.5 inches deep. Also understand, different ground conditions and in tillage conditions, that ground will settle. So those are all things to factor into as you're evaluating the corn planting depth in which you're shoving things in the ground. If you got any questions on that or even want a little help when that first planter pass goes around the field, feel free to give me a call. I'd love to come out and help you guys evaluate what's going on with corn planting depth or anything on your farm operation in general. Again, my name's John Tarks here with Midline and Minden. My phone number is 402-672-6951. It's Friday morning, March 31st, here with your Friday First Look. As always, guys, stay safe, stay positive. Have a great weekend. We're here to help. Thank you.